Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Good morning, everyone. It's finally game day. The months and weeks and days is finally over. We get to watch the Miami Dolphins play football today. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'm as excited tonight as I am right now. So right now, I'm all to the moon in excitement, getting ready for the Miami Dolphins. And I am Rob Mosley, aka Dolphins Thirsty. And as always, I'm being joined by Steve Malloy, another great Dolphin fan. How are you doing today, Steve?
Oh, I'm doing great, Rob. I can't wait. I'm pumped up. I'm fired up. I'm ready. Let's go, Dolphins.
Yes, let's go Dolphins. Like I say, all the weeks of speculation, predictions, how many games we're going to win this year, all the answers are going to be being found out in here in the very near future. I can't wait. Looking forward to it. It's always fun to talk Miami Dolphins football. So today, like I say, it's hard. Like I say, I predicted the Dolphins to be 11-6 for the year. I never broke it down by individual game, but I am predicting the Dolphins win today. It's a 27-24. I'm save it to the end because I already said it on a show yesterday. So I'm not going to hide that. I keep your prediction toward the end of the show. Let's see what people think you're going to say. But mine, I already said yesterday. So the cat's out of the proverbial bag. And I said 27-24 fins up victory. So Steve.
All right.
I know you're excited. You got the NFL package. You live in Houston, but you got the NFL package. You got it all set up, ready to watch some fins up football. So
I'm ready. Like I said, I'm pumped.
Oh, no, our Buffalo Bill fans found us. But it's okay because he always gives us a thumbs up. So Michael K is always okay in my book. And Ender, of course, Ender is always a super Dolphin fan. So he's always super okay in my book, too. Hey, good morning, Edward. Welcome to the show. If it's your first time in here, please throw us a thumbs up. And if we earn it, if you watch us for a few minutes and you think we earn it, please tackle that subscribe button for us. So, Steve, I know you had said, I won't give away who you pick, but let's say you think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. We will get into more details later, but you think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Is that just because you don't think the defenses are that great, or do you think that these offenses are both just rip-roaring offenses ready to put on a show?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I think the offenses are high, powerful offenses, and as far as the Chargers are probably a lot better passing team, and not so well in the running. Although Eckler coming out of the backfield is very dangerous, and Kelly, the other running back, joins him. As far as Miami goes, of course, we have Tua Tagovailoa, and we have our two wide receivers, Waddle and Tyreek. And then, in addition to those two, we added Braxton Berrios, who I think might be an integral part in this game this week. Number 0, first time Dolphins wearing number 0.
Rocked to the 0.
Yeah. So he's he I think we're going to see a little bit of him in the slot today. I think he'll be a key part as well. As far as defenses go, the Chargers have a great pass rush with Boza and Mack. Those two are premier edge rushers. So it's going to be tough, especially now that we know that Taron Armstead for sure is not going to play this game today. So it's going to be up to Kendall Lamb. And then we got
no easy task. It's like, hey,
no easy task.
Your NFL start here in the first game of the season. And oh, by the way, they got a guy named Boza. They got a guy named Mack. go at it and have some fun.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely,
but no
absolutely.
pressure, no pressure.
No,
But
no
go out
pressure.
there and stop those guys from killing our QB1 and to open
And
up some holes in the running game.
yeah, and as far as our defense goes, we got Vic Fangio back there. We this is a whole new scheme for this defense, and we pretty much have the same defense as we did last year with the addition of David Long, who I think is going to make an impact throughout the season, and hopefully he does today. And we've added Cam Smith, a rookie. We'll see how he turns out. Um, and but it's an all like I said, it's a new scheme, and it may take 3 or 4 weeks for us to start really gelling and coming together on defense. But we'll see. I
Yeah, hey, that's
hopefully
our
I'm
saying here
wrong.
on the Dolphins Thursday. We will see. And Steve,
Absolutely.
before we get into our keys of the game, I
Mhm.
did a little spying on what Charger fans and sites are saying. And
Right,
this
right.
is on Chargers Wire. This is their keys to beating the Dolphins. They said, just like last year, you must disrupt Tua's rhythm and timing. So, and
Yeah.
then because they say when Tua's allowed to go through his progressions and find a mismatch, he will find them and he will make you pay. But the former Alabama product tends to struggle when situations are suboptimal.
Yeah.
So he has
Yeah.
struggled in situations where defense played perfect coverage on plays last season.
Yeah.
So that's their one. Then they say consistent pressure off the edge. Left tackle Armstead out for Miami with injuries to his back, ankle, and knee. Boy, they had to list them all. Journeyman tackle Kendall Lamb will likely play in his place. And Austin Jackson is on the opposite side at right tackle.
Mhm.
So, and then they we do not see the Chargers getting a more favorable pass rush matchup for the rest of the season. This is a definite advantage for the Chargers.
Yeah.
And then they say have a quality run defense. Like I guess they think the Miami Dolphins, and that's one of our keys that we want the Dolphins to run the ball. They're saying
Yeah.
quality run defense. So that's what they want. They want to have the Dolphins, the Chargers have a quality run defense. And then their other one is early big throws from Justin Herbert and Mike
Mhm.
Williams should be a mismatch nightmare for the Miami Dolphins, as Xavier Howard will most likely be on Allen for the majority of the game, leaving Mike Williams to either Cater Kohu, Cam Smith, or whoever, or Emily Eli Apple. This is a advantage for the Chargers. So what do you think? Do you think they're spot on their mismatches? Do you think they're what do you think? That's what they think. That's like the Chargers' perspective of beating the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the Chargers to run on the Dolphins. I mean, well, at least if we're going by last year, which I know it's a different year, we were pretty good at stopping the run up front. So it's going to be interesting. Now coming out of the backfield, catching passes, Eckler is dangerous. So we'll see on that. Now as far as what was the other one you said?
They want to let's see. Big throws from Herbert often,
Right.
or to start the game
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of break the whole thing. It said Justin Herbert breaks Dolphins' spirits by getting big throws early and getting a big lead, forcing the Dolphins to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So
That's our that might be spot on. As far as Xavier Howard on Keenan Allen, that's not necessarily going to be the case because in the Fangio defense they play a lot of different coverages.
right,
And when he comes to when the defense comes to the line, pre-snap they look basically the same. But once the ball is snapped, they change into different coverages. So I kind of disagree that Xavier Howard is going to be covering Keenum all the time. It may be Kohu, it may be someone else that comes in there as well. It just
yeah.
depends on what coverages they're in. But other than that, Yeah, I think Herbert is going to come out and he's going to try to throw that ball downfield. But then again, they may come out and the Chargers may be, trying to make a statement and just pound the ball.
Well,
They may
I
just
know,
try
I
to
know
run the
that's
ball and test the defense, our
no,
defense.
I agree with you on that, and for sure they're going to try to test us for
Yeah,
sure. Because they're going
yeah,
to say, okay, they don't have Ramsey, but we didn't have Ramsey last year either. But Kader
no,
Kohu kind of struggled last year in that game, which is expected from an undrafted rookie as he was last year. So that's no. So hopefully Cater's better.
hmm
Apple's an improvement. Hopefully he's not Ramsey, but hopefully he's
right,
on an improvement over what we were playing at that point last
yep,
year. So many of our
yep,
defensive backs were gone at that point last year. So hopefully and Cam Smith. When Fangio spoke of the defense this week, he praised that Eli Apple. So it shows you kind of the ranking of who's ahead. It's definitely Eli Apple, it seems, in Fangio's eyes, because he says he's a proven veteran. He's come in here, he's picked up the defense real well. And when he talked about he kept it short and sweet with Cam Smith, well, with Cam, he's a work in progress. So, I think it kind of leaning that, if you listen to Fangio's words, but of course, teams throw all kinds of stuff out there
hmm
during pregame
yeah,
stuff to make
yeah,
people think, oh, what are they really going to do? So to me, there's that. And so
yeah,
I mean, it's
and
a tough matchup. I mean, this is not easy. Hey, Michael
it
Cato, you
is.
can't say it's breaking news because I think you said it was breaking news yesterday when you said the same line,
Yes,
silly man.
that's true.
You have
Yes.
breaking news 2 days in a row. What is the
But you know
reason
what?
we want
We're
breaking?
gonna throw it up there on the screen anyway. So
Yeah,
if folks are not aware of it, Mike White is the second string quarterback for this game. So
yeah, yeah. But he's saying he's going to be the
hopefully we will
second
not
half
see him.
starter. Yeah, he says but hopefully that doesn't happen. We will see, Mister. So Michael K, he can talk all the junk today because his team doesn't play until tomorrow night on prime time against the Jets.
Right.
And it is what it is. Talk about a Monday night game where I just like both teams, but I actually just like the Jets a little more than I just like the Bills over the years, just for my own personal reasons. But other
hmm
than that, here we go. Um, they're saying maybe the Tom, I probably mess up his name. Tom Pelissero is saying that Stephon A Chain is likely going to be inactive today.
hmm
Scotty, that's from Tom Pelissero on Twitter.
Yeah,
So I wrote that down. That note, they're saying he's going to likely be inactive with
I
that.
would have
And
loved to
then
seen him play today too.
I know, me too. And then Cameron Good is going to be activated off the practice squad and be
hmm
on. He never appeared in a game last year for the Dolphins, but he's going to be on the active roster mainly for a special teams role. But he will be on there, and he would, obviously provide depth if something happens horribly on the edge players, and he has to provide depth there. But he will be activated. And then I think isn't Bethel on the active roster, and he might be banged up, so
Uh,
that might be
I
the
think Bethel is banged up. Yeah, and he's a special teams guy. That's his
yeah. So
specialty.
I'm thinking maybe Bethel and A chain, Scotty, but
Yeah.
I think wrong all the time. Just ask my wife. So I don't know. So but that's what I think is
Mhm,
those are good, highly possible guys to being the ones that are out. So as
mhm.
far as Dolphins keys to the game, I think we both agree. And I think everyone in this room this is one thing we can all agree on is that the Dolphins need to run the football today. They need to be able to go out there,
Yeah.
establish the running game. And not only does the running game help the offense, it helps the defense because you keep the defense off the
Yeah.
field, you keep them rested, you
Yeah.
control the ball, you keep the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands. So I know it's basically football 101. You don't need to be a guy like our friend Scotty here who watches all 22 and does all that good stuff. Don't even need to know all that. Simple fact is run the football, keep control of the ball, which is going to end up opening up the passing game and free up. Because last year, it's true, the Chargers disrupted Tua. They took away what he liked to do, his timing throws. They took that away from him and we kind of struggled doing anything during that game. So if you
Yeah.
a good way to eliminate is get those guys having to come up to respect the running game, then you're able to get it over the top of them, and your timing is back throwing the football and everything. But if you can't run it, they're going to say, we don't respect their run game. They're not going to run it. They're just going to jam our receivers all day long. But if you start running that rock, you're going to have them respect that running game, and it frees up so many other things, Steve.
Yeah. No, I agree. Now, look, to be quite frank with you, everyone, look, we all know we got Tyreek Hill and we got Jalen Waddle, and Mike McDaniel is going to utilize him, right? I mean, those Tyreek is the best player on the offense, as far as skill player goes. So we're going to utilize him. We're going to try to get the ball to those guys as well. Now, when I say run the ball, excuse me, Miami Dolphins offense is not designed to, pound the ball. They're not. They're just not that.
No, it's
They're not
not.
they're not smash mouth football offensive line. But what we mean is to have more of a balanced attack, as opposed to last year. That's all we're looking for.
And just
We
keep
know we're
with
not
to
going to
keep
run the
with
ball
right, that's what I mean, to
every
keep
play.
with the running game, because last year
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
the Dolphins would be running the ball well and then
Yes,
just
yes.
inexplicably abandon the run for like, and
Yeah.
I understand why, because you got Tyreek Hill out there, you got Waddle out there.
Mhm.
You're like, oh man, it's just it's too attractive. It's like you don't want to not use those weapons when they're out there. So it's just
Yeah.
it's hard to avoid. But hopefully he stays disciplined and he sees the running game working to say,
Yeah.
hey, let's run the ball until they stop the run. Then
Yeah,
we go to other
exactly.
stuff.
Exactly. He needs
And
to
that's Scotty. That's another very good possibility of a guy being on the inactive roster. It's always
Mhm.
fun to see who they decide. Not fun, but always interesting to see who's going to be on the inactive. But that's another good candidate for the practice squad is Cotton, without a doubt. So,
Yeah,
hey, good morning, Kohler. Welcome, man. As always, man. Good morning, Kohler. And guys, you probably know who he is, but he can be found on the Finns tailgate. And they always put out good stuff. And they actually had me on one of their shows recently. So good stuff. Good looking out, Kohler. But yeah, I mean, the Dolphins, I think the Dolphins. Oh, wait. What was I going to say? I was going to say one more thing about. Oh, no, I already covered it. Never mind. I covered it. I talked about Cameron Good. I forgot my game day notes. But yeah, Cameron Good and A Chain. Scotty had me mention A Chain before I was planning to write A Chain. But yeah, so A Chain's likely to be inactive. And, it is what it is. But I still think we can run the ball. Moser seems to be healthy. I know that's his knock throughout his career. He doesn't stay healthy, but this is week one. So he should be able to rock and roll. Of course, Jeff Wilson's gone for the first few games of the season. So, it's and I think Achman, he's so great. This is the time to see if
yeah.
he can do it in the regular season. Achman wowed us during the preseason exhibition season. But then, of course, a few people last year wowed us and through the preseason exhibition. And then they came into the regular season. Easy only saw one active game, and Skylar Thompson had his struggles, but did okay as a late round drafted quarterback. In his rookie year, thrown to the fire way before
Yeah.
anyone was hoping he would be thrown to the fire. So, but still, you can show great preseason, doesn't mean anything. But I like Achman. He has flashed before for the Dolphins in the regular season, him and up in Buffalo. And, he can do his job. And it would be interesting to see him because he's definitely going to be in the limelight now. And then Chris Brooks, if it looks like he might be active if the report of Tom
Yeah.
Paracero saying Devon A Chain is out, then he may be active, so it's going to be interesting. But I do think they can still run the ball.
Yeah, and let's not forget another key piece to this offense, especially today with Mac and Boza in there, is Alec Ingold. Alec Ingold is going to be. I think we're going to see a little bit of Alec Ingold running some short passing routes, and of course he's going to be very critical in blocking for us today. So Alec Ingold is very important. Let's not forget about him as well.
I know. And he kind of was a forgotten man for I don't know if it was
Yeah.
injuries or game planning,
Well,
but he was
yeah,
kind
you're
of a
right.
forgotten.
He
He
was
was kind of a
injured.
forgotten
He
man
was
last year.
Yeah, he was injured in the first part of last year, and Omar Kelly actually spoke to him, and Alec Ingold's basically said that he said, he's 100% healthy this year, and last year, right at the beginning of the season, he hurt his thumb, and he said he was kind of hurt, not making excuses, but he was hurt, for the first few games. So I'm sure that kind of slowed him up a little bit for majority of the year. Um,
Oh, yeah,
don't
well
forget
said.
Rob. Don't forget Rob. If you want to bring up that Fanatics, we got you are now partners with Fanatics. Dolphin Chatter is, and if anyone in the chat out there wants to buy all your Miami Dolphins gear, go to Fanatics. And also it helps out to support the show as well.
Yeah,
So
make sure
don't.
you click
Yeah.
our affiliate link in the description here, or you can go to dolphinthirsty.com and hit the shop button, and any purchase you make goes onto the safe and secure site of Fanatics. And if you're going to buy your gear on Fanatics anyway, you pay no more, and you use any promo codes they have for discounts. But if you go via my link, it helps the channel, and keeps it all fun. That's all. And, that's it. If you're going to get your gear on Fanatics anyway, you might as well do it through us. Thank you, Steve, for that reminder.
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget, everyone, as you're coming into the chat, please hit that like button, share. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're almost at 500. That's Dolphin Chatter and Rob. That's his goal right now. I guess we want to get up to 500.
Yeah. Hey, baby steps, baby steps. And like
Baby
I always
steps.
say, you're not subscribers, you're team members, man, because I love talking Miami Dolphin football. Even to Buffalo Bill fans such as Michael K. It's okay because I like talking football and it's good. I don't take it too serious because this is our escape from all the crazy things that really happen in the real life. So a little banter among rivals is always fun. But thank you, Steve, because I'm horrible at promoting my own stuff. That's why I have you. I would forget that I just get so caught up talking about the Dolphins. So thank
Yeah,
you very
sure.
much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I agree. I like to see it's been a good week for Engel because, like you say, he got his contract extended. He
Yes.
seems healthy. So I'm happy. Let's see what he can do because we all had a lot of thought last year when they picked him up because very few teams have been employ his position anymore.
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
was good. We were happy to be able to get him. So obviously the competition for that type position, it's not that hard to be able to bring him into the fold, get him at a good price. So now let's keep healthy. And just because he might not have the sexy stats doesn't mean he's not helping the team because he does a lot of the things that, aren't going to
Mhm.
show up on the Pro Football Reference stat sheet. But he is a good contributor to the team. He can lead blocks. He can block down the field. He can do all kinds of stuff. So, he may not get the ball too often, but he still helps the team. So, thank you, Scotty and Steve, for bringing him up.
Oh,
Sometimes we forget
absolutely.
about
Yeah.
those guys that do the work under the radar, and
Mhm.
it actually helps the team. So,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Scotty did bring up another good point. Yes, it stinks. I hate it when we're on the West Coast and we got to wait till 4 o'clock and 4:25 in this case to watch our Dolphins play. It's just like one more tease. Like we've been waiting all these months to watch them play, and then we got to wait an extra few hours. But I guess on the positive side, we can get some stuff done before that because I'm not one that will sit down and watch a whole other games until I see my Dolphins. Maybe throw on a little red zone, maybe do this or that. But at least I got a little more free time to get some other things I have to do because at 4:20, no one, everyone knows not to bug me in the house because me and my son will be yelling at the TV. So,
Hopefully you're not yelling too much.
yeah, not yelling good or bad. We cheer like they can hear us if they get
Well,
a
yeah, that's true.
touchdown,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
yell at the TV like they can hear us if they don't do something we like. So, and never fails. Every time at the shot clock, what am I saying? The play clock is running down. We're screaming at the TV. Hi, hi, hi. Last year they did that so many times
That's a
for the
good
play.
point. That's a good point, Rob. That's another key. That's another key thing throughout the year. This year is they need. Hopefully, they communicate better and they're getting to play in on time. And Tua gets that ball off with 3 or 4
No, for sure.
seconds, not right down to the wire, like you
So
said,
clock management is
clock
vital,
management. Yes, clock and
and you can't
penalties,
be burnt
penalties.
in the first half. I don't, I'm like, oh, okay, they had to burn a timeout. But when you're
Yeah,
in the third quarter and you got to burn a timeout because in a
absolutely.
close game, because you don't have your play in there, that comes back to haunt you at the end of the game when you need to, have a couple extra timeouts. So don't burn timeouts just because of the clock management. Get that play in there, be ready to go, and everything else starts flowing that way. Because it's
Yeah.
also a hindrance to the offense when you're not just from obviously getting the play in the last second, but the defense is going to key off because they know they can see the play clock on the other side of the stadium too, and they see it's ticking down, so they're going to have their ears pinned back, jumping quick because
Yeah,
they know you're about to snap the ball. So get in there, get your rhythm going where it's never in a particular rhythm.
exactly.
Go up there one time,
Exactly.
snap it right away. They're like, holy crap. And sometimes go up there, do some hard counts, but you can't even do all of that when you wait until you break the huddle and then, you try to make them jump off sides when you got like a 1 second. So it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Go up there so you can bark commands out and do different stuff and get to
Yeah.
a better look at what the defense is presenting them. So,
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
clock management is 100% needed an improvement. And we
Well,
already
we
covered the other area that McDaniel, because McDaniel sometimes abandoned the running game last year, like we said. So he says he's going to work on that, and he's been working on getting the plays in quicker. So
yeah.
hopefully we find those. Oh, and he's also said he's going to try to come up with a better system of deciding whether to review a play or not to review a play.
I
So
think he I
hopefully,
think he hired an assistant for that this year, is from
yeah.
what I
Oh,
understand.
SoCal in the house, man. He's been out
Yeah.
there hanging in California with a whole bunch of Miami Dolphin fans. He's been hanging with the Dolphin Preachers 305 Sports, babe. The big E. He's been hanging with them all, and him himself is a well-known Dolphin fan on Twitter. Welcome, SoCal, to the
Welcome,
room.
SoCal.
Yeah. Yes, I hope you're right, SoCal. And then I hope so. We're all hoping that too. And let's see. Who starts next to I'm I lean Elliott just because he's been healthier and been in the camp more. But long term, I don't know what that answer will be. But for today, I lean Elliott. But I don't know. How about
Well,
you, Steve? I know you were reading up on some of that.
well,
So
Deshaun Elliott, I thought was going to be the starter this year, but apparently he hasn't shown enough in camp or in the preseason for Fangio to feel comfortable with him to be the legit starter at this point. I know Brandon Jones has been listed that I'm not sure if he's active today or not, but I don't know. We don't know what we got in Brandon Jones in this system yet because he hasn't played. Hopefully, he's 100%. I know he's participated in practice, but participating in practice and playing real live games where you're getting, you're getting contact is a whole different ball game. But you got Verone McKinley. Verone McKinley might see a little him back there as well, along with
yeah.
Deshaun Elliott. They might be rotating in and out as far as that goes.
And there's the $10 question or the $20 million question, whatever you want to call it. Who starts at left guard? Yes, Eichenberg has been listed on the depth chart, but the Dolphins, as far as when they talk, every time the coach is
Yeah.
like they're guarding the, secret formula to protect the nation from harm because they do not really discuss it. And he goes, why am I going to say that every time they ask him? And he
Right.
laughs because the whole room laughed. But, Barry Jackson's always the first one to ask him, well, how is it?
Well, I'll tell you
So he
this.
doesn't say, but I think it might be win. But yes, Scotty, you are 100% right that Eichenberg is listed on the depth chart.
Yeah, I won't be laughing if this offensive line doesn't perform up to par this game. He
Yeah.
he may
Oh
be
no, I mean they
laughing, but
better.
I won't be laughing at all. I've said this, and we've all said this. This O line needs to show us that it is improved. AJ hasn't. What we've seen in the preseason. I want to say exhibition season, but
Yeah,
preseason.
preseason exhibition. It's all the
Yeah,
same thing because
yeah.
that's what it is.
What we've seen in preseason and joint practices and all of training camp, he has lost weight. He's more confident. So he has shown some improvement in blocking. He just needs to be more consistent. He still gets beaten inside, more than I'd like to see. But yeah, as far as Wynn and Eichenberg is concerned, you know, um, whoever plays Wynn and Eichenberg, I still think it's going to be our weak link is that left guard spot, especially now that Armstead is not playing this game.
No, I know the left side's a little concerning,
Yeah.
especially you're going against
Very
Mac,
concerning.
you're going against Boza. It's a tough,
Mhm.
tough week matchup.
It's a tough challenge for
The
anybody.
Chargers, when we read the Chargers take, from Chargers family, we always say, "Oh, what do the Dolphins have to do to win the game?" When we read those, what do the Chargers have to do to beat the Dolphins? They think they got the golden A1 matchup today with their guys against our offensive line. So our guys need to step up to the plate.
Yeah,
And
for
do
sure.
the job because they're getting paid too. They need to go out there and play like they're getting paid. No excuses. This
Nope.
is what I call the Braxton
Mm-mm.
Burials season for the Miami Dolphins. There are zero excuses. I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't want to hear about bad breaks going one way or the other. Good team, they find a way. There's going to be bad calls from the referees both ways during the season. I don't want those excuses. I don't want injury excuses. The Dolphins have to go out and win this year. They've built this
Yeah.
team to win right now. So there's
Right
no more
now.
excuses, no more
Absolutely.
anything else. If
Yep.
someone gets hurt, I'm not even going to name names, but any position, one of our big guys go down, there's no excuse. You better be ready. You got to step up and next man up mentality. It's like, I know it's an old cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason because football is an injury prone sport, unfortunately. You're going to get guys hurt. So
Yeah.
those next guys have to step up. They're on
Yeah.
they're on an NFL roster too. You don't make an NFL roster just being some slug off the street. You got a lot of talent. You just got to, yes, there's different variations and levels of that talent, and you're not going to go from an all pro and still have another all pro. It's not like, when you're these big colleges recruiting and you got five-star recruits right behind you for the next man up mentality in the pros. It's just not reality. But the truth is, you got to win no matter what. Injuries are going to happen, and I want this to be the Braxton Burials season. Zero excuses. What say you, Steve?
No, I agree. Zero excuses this year. I mean, the team has set this roster up to win now, like you said, and fans have shown concern over this O line, and they're saying, "Don't worry, don't worry. You're more worried about it than we are." So they've given us the hope again. They're telling us, don't worry, everything's fine. We got it under control. So we'll see today. And Scotty makes a good point. Mac is 32 years old, but he's still a damn good
He's still good, and it's
edge
fresh in the
rusher.
season. So
Yeah.
it's like if he's going to ever have the super energy, today's the day he's going to have that super energy.
But he makes a good point. He makes a good point.
Oh, he does. And I know he's not the Mac that,
Right.
that got them a
Mhm.
gazillion first round picks when they first traded for him, the Bears first traded for him or whatever. But he's still a quality football player, and today he could be, if we're ever in an NFL season, you're going to be out there healthiest. It's going to be game one of the NFL season. But I agree, Scotty. He's not the name that we all got used to, but still, it could be a concern for week one. That's all I'm saying. I don't.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, like at the end of some of these great sport players, they still have that one game in them sometimes where they just come back and you see the little form that they used to do.
Does
So let's
Von
just hope
Miller
that's not for
Miller ring a bell?
yeah. Yeah, at least. Oh, I wonder if our Buffalo Bill fans in here for that name, but we won't. I know Von Miller we won't face in the first game this year.
Right. He is hurt.
Dismissed him. But yeah, I know he's another name that he can still go out there. So you just never know, man. And then if his only job is to get to the quarterback, he may still have that up his sleeve.
Exactly.
I just want the Dolphins. Like I say, there's no excuse though. You just got to go out there, play better than the person in front of you, and win this game, Miami. And no, it's not a must win. It's week one. If we lose, yes, on my Dolphins Twitter and here on YouTube, there's going to be meltdowns and there's going to be people saying, "Oh my goodness," but I'm not going to panic until we get to like week 5 and I see what a record. If we don't have a winning record by week 5 and stuff, then I would be of those guys panicking, because you're going to have some bumps along the way. Those bumps may come early, they may come late. But the one thing I do have to say is you can't have a 7-game losing streak followed up by a 5-game losing streak last year. The year before we had a 7-game losing streak. Last year a 5. You can't have any. I mean, at most a 2-game. You can't be having multiple game long streaks, because in this AFC, every week is going to be almost like a very important mark, especially when you're playing interconference, because like today's game's important for the Dolphins, because it could come down to, this very first game could come down to a tiebreaker from the Dolphins making the playoffs or the Chargers making the playoffs.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
so I mean, every game's important, but it's not a must-win game. But man, I want them to win. From a fandom, it's a must. Every game's a must-win,
Well,
But from
here's my perspective, Rob. I
yeah,
think they need to win this game today. They need to come out there and they need to make a statement, because if they come out there and they're playing, Tua's struggling like he did last year when he played them, and we don't see an improvement, we don't see any adjustments, then I'm going to be concerned. I will be concerned. But if Tua comes out there and he's just, he doesn't have to throw 90, 80, 90-year-old, 90-year-old, 80 or 90-yard bombs. All I want to see from Tua is game management. I want to see him, making the smart decisions, with the ball. Don't hold on to the ball. Go down. Don't try to do what you're not comfortable with. Get that ball out quick.
come on, say the term
Throw
you
some
always
short
like to
passes.
use, Steve. Dink and dunk if you have to. That's a term
Dink
you like
and
to
dunk. Yeah, dink
use.
and dunk. That's what I want to see. Those decisions, quick decisions, getting that ball out of there, and and running the ball more. I'm not saying pound the ball every play, but
No, that's not how they're built. I
they're not
agree with
built
you on
like
that.
that. But we do
Yeah.
need to be more balanced for sure.
But if Tua gets it and he sees it's not there, because he knows he's a timing quarterback, don't
Yes.
try to go too off the top trying to make something. Now, at critical points of the game, sometimes you got to make
You
something
got to.
happen.
Yeah, you got to make it happen. But yeah, I got you.
But if during the normal course, early in the game,
Yeah.
if it's not there when you first dump it off to your running back. You got some fast running backs that can get you some positive yards out of the backfield. Yeah, it's not going to maybe be 60 yards down the field and getting everyone screaming and hollering, what a great play. Take what they give you and be ready for the next.
And
if
spread the ball around.
Even if it's third down, worst comes to worst, and you got to just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Punt the ball. Let your defense do their thing. And, just don't try to play hero ball. And I understand Tua is the ultra competitor, and that sometimes is to his own detriment, because he never wants to give up on a play. He wants to make everything happen every single play. But sometimes, I mean, Dan Marino, you should just throw it away sometimes, because it happens. You got to just sometimes say, it's not there. They were ready for it. It wasn't there. Let's live to see another play. Then hold, and make a horrible bad throw, or take a horrible hit that you never needed to take in the first place. So that's what I agree with you. Just be smart. Look, if they're wide open down there, you're going to chuck it to them.
Absolutely.
If they're not, throw it underneath and keep the chains moving.
Yep.
Hey, so well said. So anyway, like I said, and guys, I do really appreciate you coming to our show. I know there's a lot of shows out there doing what we do. There's probably way too many Dolphin shows out there, but I just do it because it helps me talk to other Dolphin fans, and that's my main alternative. Just talking to fellow Miami Dolphin fans. That's why I like it. That's why I do it. I don't try to be a know-it-all and all that. Hey, DB. Welcome, DB. Oh, sorry. I threw his thing up. Fins up, DB. And remember to give us a thumbs up, people. And if you're new to the channel, please come back. And when we earn it, tackle that subscribe button. Tackle it like a Zach Thomas tackle. And always at least throw that Dan Marino laser pass or Tua laser pass at the thumbs up. It helps our channel. And I'm here just to talk all Miami Dolphin football with all you guys. So welcome, DB. Hey, Adam, another good regular. Adam Vince, up to you, man. See, it's great, man, that we're finally here, Adam and DB and SoCal. We are at game day. The weeks, months, feels like years, since the Dolphins played that football game that mattered. We're finally back talking Miami Dolphins football on game day, guys. We're talking on game day. And like I say, hopefully we're all happy tonight and we're all going to post-game shows or doing whatever, high-fiving the family. All happy Fins fans is what we need today, Steve. All across the nation. Because the great thing about Dolphins, we're all across. I'm here in South Florida. Steve is in Houston. SoCal, his name gives it away. He's in Southern California. All you guys are from all over. It makes it great, Dolphin fans uniting all across the nation. So that's good. It's good to see, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. I appreciate all the folks in the chat, our audience there, Doll fans. I appreciate you coming in. Like Rob has said, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and don't be afraid and shy to share with your friends, your families, anyone that wants to hear some good Dolphins content.
Yeah. Thank you. And check out dolphinthirsty.com too, guys. But with that said, it stinks that we got to wait till 4, but at least it's here. We're ready to go, guys. We're going to wrap up this show pretty soon because, like I know, we all want to get going, see other games that come earlier in the day, get the lunches in, get all that stuff you got to do. But I'm just ready, Steve, and I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover. Oh,
Yeah.
What I did say, we got to limit Herbert because their keys to the game is have Herbert throw a lot of long posts. To me, I mean, Herbert is that kind of quarterback. He's going to make some great throws that there's nothing you can do. It's just, but you got to limit those. Keep the score down. Can't let them get to a big lead to where then we have to play from behind.
Yeah.
Because we got to be able to do our thing and keep that balanced offense. So that's my main thing. And then pass protection, we already kind of covered. Oh, no, you brought up special teams. Special teams is very important for the Dolphins because last year our coverage teams and our return teams were not very good. The coverage teams, need to stand up, be better, and hopefully they've taken strides in that. We've still got the same, special teams coach Crossman, but overall, we brought in some other players to hopefully, get better on special teams. What do you think, Steve? Because I know that's one of the keys for your game today.
Yeah. I think it is one of the keys. And in fact, I think the game is going to be decided by our special teams today by Sanders if we win the game.
Wow.
I definitely think that Sanders is going to be the guy that wins the game for us.
Yeah, I know you said
if
you
we
have
win.
a 3-point difference, so that I know I'm not revealing your prediction yet, but I know your score prediction is a 3-point difference. Hey, Chris, thank you on 2 fronts. Thank you for joining us. And now I am, because I was wondering, I don't get many Facebook comments. I do get some fun them. I'm like, I wonder if I can see Facebook comments, but I do see your comment, Chris Mountjoy. So thank you very much from joining us from the Facebook side. I appreciate it. Awesome. Good to know. And he's been here before, but I just lately haven't been seeing other I haven't been seeing Facebook people. I don't know. But hey, it's good. Thank you, Chris, and fins up to you. But yeah, special teams are definitely important. I think our return game, unfortunately, it looks like A-Chain won't be participating today if Tom Pelissero's right. But backs and burials on the punt return should be an improvement over what we had last year. I mean, Cedric Wilson's okay back there, but he's just reliable catching the ball. You don't really ever feel like he's going to break something big. He's just like, at least he's going to catch the ball, which is good. It's fine. I'd rather have that than a muff any day of the week.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping Braxton Berrios in that. I'm not saying take one to the house, which of course I would love, but I'm talking about, get the 8, 9, 10 yards on a punt return sometimes. Every yard helps when you're driving down the field.
Yeah.
So, that's where, and, kickoffs, returns, they've almost become non-existent in today's NFL, but they do happen every so often.
Yep.
Most of these kickers just boom the ball out of the end zone these days, so there's very few kickoff returns that there used to be. But once in a while, they happen. And then when you do, it'd be nice to see, some of these guys back there. But, half the time nowadays, it seems like the ball is kicked all the way out of the end zone.
Yeah.
So, Steve, are you ready yet? Or you want to? We're almost at the end. So let's see. I don't even know, guys, who he's picking, but I do know the score he's picking. But he wouldn't even tell me, and behind the scenes, who he predicts to win today. And Steve is known as Real Talk Fins Talk. He's always on my network. He's also on the Fins Talk Sports Network on Tuesday nights, where I'm his co-host. We switch roles. This is how you would see us on Tuesday nights. He'd be on that side, and I'm on this side. But it doesn't matter because we don't even look at each other as hosts and co-hosts. We're just
No.
guys talking football.
Exactly.
And that's what we are. So, Steve, I put you there down since you're going to be giving the prediction, and I'm going to be the guy waiting because this is going to be my first time hearing Steve's actual game day prediction. So, Steve, let me and everyone know, who are you picking?
Well, I think the score is going to be 34-31, as I said.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to go. My mind says the Chargers are going to win today. 34-31.
You're off Dolphin Thursday. You're off Dolphin Thursday.
Of course, my heart is wants my team to win. I want those Miami Dolphins to win. I'm a lifetime Dolphin from 1969. But if you catch me off the show, once I shut this computer down and I'm off the show, I'm going to be right there by my television set watching the Dolphins and rooting for them and hoping they win that game.
I just tease you.
But
you keep it real. That's why I never really I say the Dolphins 27-24, like I said at the top of the show.
Man, that would be great. That would be great, man.
Don't take it with a grain of salt, because if you bet on my Dolphin prediction, you're going to probably lose more often than you're not, because I'm always going to pick the Dolphins. That's why I would never gamble on the Dolphins, because I know I just can't bring myself to say it, man. So I know I saw that. Hey, he's Michael K. So give us your prediction of, because it's easy for him to make that. What do you say? Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, Michael K. That's what I want to know. Hey, Michael L. Oh, another, man. We got another. Getting some Facebook love today. I love it. John, thank you so much, John, for coming in. Is this offensive line going to be improved this season? Looks like there weren't many changes in the front office culture. Yes, the front office and the coach are happy with what they have. Yes, you're 100% right. Chris Greer said it in his own words. Steve Malloy right there in the host seat. He said he plays that interview over and over every Tuesday night, and he says he's going to play it every Tuesday night on the Real Talk Fins Talk Sports Network until the Dolphins prove him otherwise, and the offensive line is good. So, yes, you are 100% right. And Michael L., again, welcome to the room. Casey's yes, I think he's referring something to the Scotty said. Yes, I have to admit, my guy Tony, he's a Gator. My son goes to the University of Florida, so I kind of root for the Gators just because my money goes there, not because I'm a diehard Gator fan. But he dropped the ball, literally. They're saying, he dropped the ball. He literally dropped the ball. If he makes one of those catches, the Chiefs probably win that game. But, hey, that's football, man, unfortunately. And, yeah, Mahomes did look human, but I still would take Mahomes in it over any quarterback currently playing anywhere on this great planet of ours. But, yeah, he did look a little more ordinary without Kelsey and some of his really good receivers. So it's so safe to say that out loud, Scotty. It's not that, he did that game. But kudos to Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah.
He went in there, beat Kansas City on their own turf in primetime TV to start the whole NFL season. So kudos to former Dolphins coach Dan Campbell. Seems like a really good guy. Players like playing for him. So kudos. That's about the nicest thing I ever say for a guy on another team because of my Dolphin, fandom. But kudos to Dan Campbell going in there and punching Kansas City in the mouth, which actually helps the Dolphins because that's an AFC opponent. that just lost the game. So,
Yeah,
hey, I'm optimistic.
absolutely.
It's week 1 here. So I
Absolutely.
can be optimistic and look at all advantages throughout the season. So I agree. It's crazy. Okay, anyway, first time here. Toronto. First time here. I live in Toronto, Canada. Dolphin
Oh,
fan
wow.
since 1983. That's the year that the Miami Dolphins drafted Dan
Dan
Marino
the
in the first
man.
round at
Yes,
pick
sir.
27 out of University of Pittsburgh. Went on to have a Hall of Fame career. Never won the Super Bowl, unfortunately. I'm going to say it before Michael K throws it in my face. So I throw that disclaimer out there. But was still one of the greatest quarterback I saw to get to play, and he played for the Miami Dolphins. So awesome, Michael. And my wife's from Canada, but she's from the Quebec French-speaking side, but she's also Canadian, but now been living with me here in the United States, and our son for more than 20 years. She would pop in the hair if I forget the exact date, but she's been here a long time there. I said it to come right.
Yeah.
More than 20 years.
Be
I guess I'm
careful,
probably doing
Rob.
the
Be
math right now.
careful.
Yeah, she said more than 20 years she's been living here in South Florida, and she's taken on the Dolphins as a fan too. And it's good to see all you guys here. And let's see. Here's I don't know, where's Kohler? Kohler, I think Kohler's in Florida, right? I think he's one of my few. I saw him do a little palm tree there. Got me thinking because so many of these guys are all over. And I think Kohler is actually a. What did you say, Steve? That he said nice. Okay, Steve.
I don't know. I don't know what I said. That
I think he gave. Oh, you know what? I probably there. So, but anyway, it's all good. So I'm Rob. He's Steve. I'm the one that said the Canada stuff, but it's all good. But Steve always says excellent stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me, man. I love that we got some Facebook love today, too, guys, and it's great. But yeah, I mean, the keys to the game to me, run the ball. Like you say, they're not going to be a running team per se, but run the ball, keep the Chargers defense, honest.
Mm-hmm.
Then dink and dunk when you do pass the ball when needed. Then take those shots because you do. You got two Ferraris on the outside, or Lamborghinis, or Bugattis, whatever you guys that love sports cars. I just know them by name because that's what my budget. I mean, I can maybe buy the Matchbox version of those cars, but whatever those we got them on the outside, so it's hard not to want to go to those, shiny new, those shiny toys, not new anymore, but shiny toys on the. I understand that, but they should be better if you do all those things that you say, Steve, better, like keep the running game going,
Yeah.
keep the short passing game going, because eventually a defense is going to have to keep on creeping up to stop those things. And that's when, boom, you go over the top and you take advantage of having a Waddle and a Hill streaking down the field.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree 100% on that.
No problem, Mike. But hey, Steve is always great. He always says super great things too. So it's no surprise. But yeah, Steve, we're here at the end. You've said your prediction. Didn't make me happy, but luckily, I know you always keep it real, so it doesn't shock me. And hopefully, and I know one thing: you hope you're wrong. I know that much. You hope you're wrong.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you hope you come in tomorrow or our next show we do together and you say, man, I'm happy I was wrong. The Dolphins run and I was wrong and I love it. And I know that's what you want because you're one saying, like you say, I always steal from you. You may not always agree on what the Dolphins do and how the Dolphins make their moves, but the one thing we do agree with, we want them to win. And,
Absolutely.
That's it. And so, I mean, when you predict against them, you still want them to win. That's why you wouldn't bet money on the Chargers. Oh, another man. We're getting some really good about. Okay, it's one of the same one, but still, I love getting these comments from Facebook. Vic needs to mix the covers up in the second ring to keep Herbert guessing. Yes, that is correct. I think Fangio and Herbert, they've faced each other several times. They have a 500 record against.
Yeah, they played each other. I was wrong the other night. I think I said they played each other.
Right?
Yeah, it's only 4 times, and they got a
2-2.
2-2. Yeah, so it's a 500 record between the two.
Is Steve going to? No, he won't predict a loss every game unless it really the team shows like it's going horrible. But no, I'm pretty sure at some point he will predict a win. So
no, Scotty, I will not. I'm just go with my gut. That's all.
Oh, I know. Hey, I admit it's a tough matchup. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
the one thing good about this matchup is our West Coast trip is out of the way to start the season.
Let me
No,
ask Scotty
yeah,
something. Let me ask Scotty something.
okay.
Scotty, are you going to pick the Dolphins to win every game?
Well, my answer is yes, I will.
I
Dolphins
know
Thirsty is
you
going to
will.
predict them to win every time, but that's why I always
Yeah.
put a
If it
disclaimer.
was up to
Never
you, they're going
bet.
to go 17-0. I got you.
Yeah, exactly. And I know they're not. That's why I just throw the 11-6 out
Yeah.
there as my genetic because I know they're going
Yeah.
to lose games. But my heart of hearts just make it too hard for me to actually say, "Oh, we're going to lose to this team on this particular day." The
Mhm.
one I would be closest to where I tell you right now, when we travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, that'd be the closest
Yeah.
thing where I ever say, "Man, can my fandom really make me think we're gonna?" Because that's a tough ask. Go into Philadelphia and beat Philadelphia and beat them. That's a tough ask. So
Mhm.
even in my 100% Dolphin thirstiness in me, I may have to keep quiet on that game. I would plead the fifth when you ask me, Rob, what's your prediction for this game against the Eagles? I may say, I plead the fifth because that's going to be a tough ask. But I think we can go over to Germany and beat Kansas City. I really do. And I'm not just saying that based on what I saw the
Absolutely.
other night because I
Absolutely.
know Jones is probably going to sign a contract by then. Kelsey's going to be back by then. So I know it's not going to be the Kansas City team we saw the other night. But I still think we can go in there and beat them. The Lions is a game I look at. It's like, oh my God, I don't know if even my homerism can say that's the one. I mean, the Eagles game is the
Yeah.
game I'm
Yeah, but
really be like.
let's take one game at a time.
I know. I'm just
You
saying. I'm
know.
just saying where when they take shots. I'm just saying that's why it's not gonna be. That's why I never leave my prediction until the end of the show because I'm always going to predict the Dolphins. So,
Mhm.
but Scotty, how about for today? What's your any guys? Everyone, drop your comments on someone I think already did. But anyway, guys, drop your comments on. Oh wait, Michael K doesn't count. He.
Yes, he
I want to hear
does.
what Michael K's doing here. I want to hear what his predictions for the Bills Jets game is tomorrow night.
I'm taking the Jets.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I do believe that I do agree, Scotty. I am with you 100%. But there's also not one game on the schedule that you can just look and say, "Oh, all the Dolphins have to do is show up and win." Because even the Broncos game, I'm going to that game. This is the first home game of the regular season for Miami, and for the Dolphins home games get. And I was thinking when I got those tickets, oh, that's a win. And I got tickets to the Panthers game. Oh, that's a but there's no guarantee. So I agree. You just have to show up, like Steve said, take one game at a time and let's enjoy it. Because before we know it, the season will be over. Because man, it seems like I don't know. It must be a quantum physics thing. Because when NFL seasons start, time seems to go faster. Because before I know it, I'm like, oh my god, the season's already over. It's just. And then in the off season, it's like the quantum physics slows. So you're like, oh, okay, there's no NFL football. What the heck we're going to talk about? Especially for us trying to come up with stuff to talk about. But people like Scotty that come in during the off season and the Kohlers and the Mikes, all those guys, it makes it fun because we still come up with something to talk about. But anyway, guys, if you're still in here, oh, hey, there he goes. Scotty comes in with a Miami victory today, so that is good. I like that.
Yep,
So
24-17. Let's go Dolphins. I hope you're right, Scotty.
yeah,
That would be
I mean, like
nice.
I said, none of us know. We don't have that crystal ball. We're gonna see because it's really hard to know because exhibition preseason, like you say, means nothing. So we don't really know what the Dolphins are made of until today. Today, we're going to really get a taste of what their schemes are,
Yeah,
what they've
for sure.
changed,
For
who
sure.
they're going to use, because we still don't even know who's going to be our number 3 receiver. We're still, I mean, it's like top secret. We don't know if it's going to, we're going to find out. Are they going to use EZ a lot or, and work him into some, I actually have some game plan, not just put him in the game to be in there, but actually design some plays intended for him to get the ball and run the ball like they showed a little bit in the preseason. We don't know any of that. That's why, today's the first test, and we're going to get some answers from that first test today.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. As I said,
Yeah, I agree. I think I would lean Barrios as the third receiver, but
yeah, I would too. I would too
yeah,
right now.
that's who I would lean. But I've been still hearing names in like Easy and all these. But I would lean Burrows because I think he's a perfect complement for what Tua likes to do. Quick hitting passes. And Burrows, I think it would be great because those guys are going to have to pay attention to Waddle and Hill, and Burrows should be able to get a good matchup and get in there and get open. I agree.
Yep.
Let's see. I think getting an intercepted and forced fumble today, time to a defense shows strong. I would love it, man. I want some. Scotty, you're 15 for 15 for Jalen Phillips. Better start today. How about if you start the season with like at least 2 sacks to get himself rolling towards that 15? Because Scotty's all off season been saying 15 for 15, at least 15 for 15, meaning 15 sacks for Jalen Phillips. I hope he's right. So, Steve, as always, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We're done. We made our predictions. I said Miami Dolphins 27-24. So I also have it a 3-point game, but I have it with the Dolphins coming out on top of that 3-point game. You have it 34-31, but have the Chargers coming out on top. But that's okay because that's what makes us great. That's what makes us have fun on this show. Steve and I don't always agree, and but we do agree, like I say, that we want the Dolphins to win at the end of the day. So, all right, guys, thank you. And for the Facebook, super extras, of course, you YouTube guys are super duper too. But getting some Facebook love today really helped. Makes it feel like, I'm starting to get some attention out there on the old Facebook. So that is awesome. Steve, really, with no further ado, let me bring up my. No, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, John. Let's see. I'm bringing up my video so Steve and I don't yell at the screen for 5 minutes saying number 1 because I can't find the closeout video. There we go. All right, Steve, I'm ready. I am on the closeout video. Just reminder, guys, not that you need this reminder, but the Dolphins play today. They're going to be having some fun out in LA. Hopefully they go out to the west and pass the test. Yes, that's my greatest poet I know right in there. So hopefully they go out west, pass test 1, and then come back east, and ready to go up and take on the Patriots just so that we're the beast in the east. There's one more, Brian. So anyway, guys, that's it. Steve, are you ready for our closeout trademark Dolphins number 1?
Absolutely, I'm ready. Remember,
Dolphins number 1,
baby.
Dolphins number 1, baby.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins.